Hi, I'm Megan.
And I'm Rob. You're watching
Lists of 13.
Here you'll find lists of various topics, all in sets of 13.
If you have tristodectophobia, an irrational fear of the number 13, this video may not be for you. Otherwise, enjoy the list. This video is part of a series we call Silly Laws by State.
You know, a lot of these laws were put into effect because something happened to make this law necessary.
That's disturbing.
Remember, we are not lawyers, and this should in no way be considered legal advice. Today we're coming to you with another edition of Silly Laws by State. We started out in Missouri, went around Missouri, the states that were touching Missouri. We went around a second time for the states that touched the states that touched Missouri. We're going around again for a third time with the states that are 3 out from Missouri. Today, we bring you 13 silly laws from Florida.
Number 1. The same parking fee for a vehicle must be paid for an elephant tied to a parking meter.
I mean, that sounds kind of legit, I think, but my question is, who would take their elephant and tie it to a parking meter?
Well, first of all, I lived in Florida for a few years, so anything is possible. Surely everyone has heard the Florida Man headlines. Sad part is, that's not a single man. It's just a title you use to explain the idiocracy of crimes, ideas, things that happen in Florida. So, one, who would own an elephant in Florida? Probably no one, but apparently there's a law for a reason. But 2, why would you tie it to a parking meter? I don't think those things are strong enough to really hold an elephant, if we're being honest.
Number 2, men may not wear a strapless gown in public anywhere in the state.
Well, that's ridiculous. I have no idea why they can't. Also, Florida's got a super great pride scene going on, so I'm sure this isn't being enforced. However, with the current political environment of Florida, maybe it is.
Right.
Number 3, unmarried women are prohibited from parachuting on Sunday under a mandatory fine and jail time.
Just remember that if you want to go parachuting on a Sunday in Florida.
Stupid sexist law. I now want to go parachuting on a Sunday in Florida, but I won't get arrested.
Number 4, in Pinecrest, Florida, residents are required to get a permit to operate their burglar alarms.
What? That's ridiculous. Number 5, public singing in a swimsuit is illegal in Sarasota. Well, apparently there's no Miss Florida contest going on, or if they do, you can't perform and sing in your bathing suit.
Right. Number 6, it is illegal for a woman to fall asleep under a hairdryer at a hair salon. Both the customer and the salon owner are responsible and able to be charged for this crime in Florida.
This is another ridiculous law. 1, I have a cosmetology license, and it's impossible to even get people to stay under those dang things, and if they do, they usually fall asleep. And 2, especially on a cool winter morning in Florida, if you're under a hairdryer, I bet it feels real cozy and you're going to fall asleep. Take a little kitty cat nap under there.
So I guess if you were a cosmetologist in Florida, it would probably be a good idea to have some kind of little wiffle balls or something like that, and if somebody fell asleep, throw one of the balls at them or something.
I don't know, I wish I had my license. I would just go sit under the dryer and take a nap, and then when someone would be like, "What are you doing?" I'd be like, "Well, technically I'm not a patron because I work here, so I'm not sure how I can be responsible. It's not a paying customer, I just am employed here."
That's amazing.
Number 7, the punishment for horse theft is listed as death by hanging.
So if you're not wanting to lose your life in Florida, it'd probably be a good idea not to steal a horse.
Seems a tad excessive.
Number 8, you cannot hang your clothes from a clothesline in Cape Coral, Florida.
So you can get hung if you steal a horse, but you can't hang out your clothes to dry.
Well, like you said, you lived there. Sounds kind of legit, you think?
It's ridiculous. Number 9, in Pensacola, a woman electrocuted in the bathtub using a beauty tool can be fined. Her next of kin will be responsible if she's dead. Speaking of asinine laws in Florida, I mean, what if it's an accident? I don't know about the rest of you, but surely everybody has either been part of or experienced a bathroom that has 17 too many women's appliances plugged in. All it would take is one for them to teeter off into the bathtub or trip on a cord, and you could be electrocuted for sure.
Well, I guess if you want to be a non-criminal, it'd be a good idea to contain your electrical appliances, I guess.
So I wonder what happens if you accidentally knock a radio or a phone in there and then you get electrocuted that way. That's not a beauty tool, it's still a lady in the bathtub. I smell a loophole.
Number 10. It's illegal to lean a bike on a cemetery's tree in Destin.
Well, I mean, that does seem polite, but what if that's the only way you got there and you don't have a kickstand? You just lay it down in the grass?
Or leave it outside of the fence of the cemetery.
Well, that's being pretty presumptuous of you to assume that there's a fence to begin with, but good plan.
Or if you're planning ahead and you see a tree that's like right near the cemetery but not in the cemetery, you can always lean it against that tree.
Right, lots of pre-planning to go visit the cemetery on a bike.
Right.
Take your kickstand, folks. Number 11. In Tampa Bay, it's against the law to eat any cottage cheese after 6 p.m. on Sundays. I'm pretty sure there was some asinine lawmakers in Florida at the time that these laws were made. I mean, they're still there, don't get me wrong. However, this is just ridiculous. Who would waste the time writing a law about this?
Maybe some guy whose kid choked on cottage cheese after 6 p.m. on a Sunday.
I mean, maybe, except for you could choke on any food at any given minute of any day or day of the week. I think it's silly.
That's why it's on the list.
Right.
Number 12. Selling your kids is illegal in the whole state.
Well, by golly, we have an actual reasonable law on this list. What's silly about it is that they had to make it a law. I'm pretty sure it's illegal to do this everywhere.
Right.
And number 13, skateboarding without a license is the same under the law as driving without a license in Florida. I'm gonna call BS.
Why is that?
Well, because most of the people that you see using a skateboard in Florida are not of a driving age. And so if you're gonna impose the same laws as those that drive, I don't know how you could do that when it's probably like a 10-year-old kid.
But are they skateboarding on the street, or are they skateboarding in a park or on some type of sidewalk or something?
Well, in case you missed my notification about Florida Man and all the crazy things that's happening, you shouldn't skateboard on any street. It better be a sidewalk, a skate park, somewhere besides the street, or you're gonna probably get hit and be killed.
We hope you enjoyed hearing about these silly laws in Florida.
Tell us your favorite in the comments, or the one that you think is the most ridiculous.
Or the one that you'd have the hardest time keeping.
And remember,
just because you didn't know it was a law,
ignorance is not a defense. Thanks again for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up.
and if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to get notified when we post new videos.
After subscribing, ring the bell.
After that, tell all your friends.
We hope you enjoy your day and keep being kind to one another.